KLX versus TW200. It will be an epic battle between these two machines. Two completely different bikes, but yet very similar. Two bikes intended for two different audiences.
The T-Dubs is just an amazing, fun little bike. This bike is awesome. Out on these trails, this is a 50-inch trail. It's definitely rocky.
But yet, both incredibly capable of doing any trails in its way. Both incredibly reliable and built to last. The Yamaha TW200 is a 196cc single-cylinder dual-sport motorcycle that was manufactured and marketed by Yamaha since 1987. TW is short for Trailway. In 2001, finally, an update was made that removed the kickstart and replaced the front drum brake with a disc brake. The TW200 has around 16 horsepower, while the KLX 250 has anywhere between 23 to 27 horsepower depending on the make and model. Now these two are very unique machines. I've tested these two machines on open trails, 50-inch trails, rocky single track that is fairly flat to even the steep sections. So what exactly is the secret weapon of the TW200 versus the KLX Dualsports? Two major differences between the two. Personally, I find the TW200 easier to maintain with its open compartments, simplicity, and basic engineering.
As you can tell, being out here in Colorado, you just want to sit down and explore. TW200 is perfect for that. Best thing about the TW200, it's so simple. It's very easy to change anything on this bike. I mean, look at the old school air-cooled engine. I mean,
while the KLX, although incredibly reliable as well, have tighter spaces to work on, more components, and a little more difficult to maintain versus your basic air-cooled TW200 engine. The TW200 also packs another wallop with its height, miniature frame, and big tires. The TW200 has a huge advantage due to height and ease of handling, and of course, weight. One thing I noticed was the TW200 was almost impossible for me to drop if I were to hit technical terrain, since I can just sit down and straddle through everything, like a mini tank. I have a lot of leg room for balancing, walking the bike over things, and just paddling over everything. You also have a lower center of gravity, so if you were to tip over the bike or yourself, it honestly would not be that bad versus a taller machine. I am a firm believer the TW200 can effortlessly handle technical terrain on tough, rock crawling obstacles due to the height and room for your legs to walk this bike effortlessly. And not to mention, I personally find the fun factor a little bit more fun with the TW200. But where does the KLX Dualsport stand in comparison to the TW200? Both have incredible reliability, incredible off-road capabilities, and both have a great fun factor. But in all honesty, when it comes time to stand up, absorb hits with more aggression, and need more of that suspension travel, the KLX is definitely the winner. The KLX Dualsport is more of an aggressive machine, allowing you to go faster, stand up, and absorb all those hits, while the TW200 will tank its way through. Now let's go ahead and change scenarios and scenery and head over to Moab, Utah. Man, pumped pretty. Oh, there we go. Now this area has a lot more rock obstacles, a lot more rock faces where you have no choice but to hit them head on, at speed, with momentum. So your suspensions will need to be a bit more stiff, have a little bit more travel, and of course, a little bit more power to get you over some of these steep climbs. Now the KLX is more of an aggressive machine. It's the closest resemblance to a legit dirt bike, except the weight and a little bit more stability on the road. If you're an aggressive rider hitting obstacles more head on, the KLX would definitely be a better choice. If you're the kind to sit down a lot more and put your way through obstacles, TW200 hands down. When it comes to the TW200, the suspension travel in the front is 6.3 inches while the rear is 5.9. In comparison to the KLX, it is 10 inches front wheel travel and 9.1 in the rear, if you're looking at the older models. But the suspension travel of the TW200 can easily be made up for its height and using your own legs to crawl up or down things. Now the only terrain I would not bring the TW200 is where larger tires are needed, more suspension travel is needed, and large rock faces. But to be honest, if you are riding that kind of terrain, you most likely are on an enduro bike anyway, such as a 2-stroke or a KTM 250 EXDF. So all in all, I personally find the KLX Dualsport's a little bit better of a machine if you're more of an enduro rider, while the TW200 is suited for more people who have shorter frames, more of a relaxed, chilled rider who likes exploring and just really wants the basic necessities. While the KLX is reserved for someone who's just a little bit more aggressive, likes to tackle things a little bit harder head on, and just looking for a little bit more speed. Anyhow guys, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell button, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.